everyone, Britton here today from AboveHerBeeStudio.com, and I'm here to bring you a little product review from Purple Cows. We got to visit their booth when we were out at CHA at the end of last month, and they had some really cool new products that we're going to be bringing to you over the next few weeks. The one I got to bring home was the PunchIt, and what's really cool about this punch is that there's many different ways that you can use it. A lot of border punches, you can only get a border out of them, but with the PunchIt, there's different ways you can use it to get some different designs. So the one that I'm going to be working with today is called the Autumn PunchIt, and this is what the design looks like. This is the Spring PunchIt, so when you get it, this is how it comes packaged, and on the back there are some diagrams on how you can get the different designs. So I'm going to show you some today, and just playing around with it, there's really a lot of things that you can do with this one little punch. Of course, there's corners, and then there's designs. Really neat, and there's guides printed on it, so it kind of makes using it pretty simple. So I'm going to show you one today. I made this card because I wanted to make the square embellishment. So I used the squares that I punched with the PunchIt to make the embellishments for this little card. So what I started with was a 3x3 square, and the paper is from, We Are Memory Keepers, and it's the Family Keepsake line of paper. And this was actually part of the November 2011 Club Ruby kit. So if you're interested, check craftecorner.com. I'm pretty sure that they still have some of these available, but I used the, I don't want to call it solid pattern, but the lightly patterned paper on the back where it's sort of monochromatic because the colors just blended just matched really well. So I started with the 3x3 square, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the punch, I don't know how best to explain it, like here's the square I want to make, and the bottom of it, the bottom part of the triangle is what I want is the larger part, so I'm going to have that facing me, so it makes it easier for me. I can't do stuff upside down. So there's guides, all kinds of guides on the punch. I don't know if how well you can see that, but there's all sorts of guides and printing on the punch, so that's what I'm going to use to make this embellishment. There's two guides here. I'm going to kind of just center the 3x3 paper on there, put the clamp down or put the punch down. It's hinged, which is really nice. You're not searching for the top of it. Put it down, and then I use two hands to punch. And then all you need to do is just turn the paper. Rather than turning the punch, I turn the paper, recenter it carefully, and punch again. So there's two sides, and again with the guidelines, this makes it pretty simple to figure out. There's also some videos on the Purple Cow's website that can help. And there's my last one. So here's my square embellishment. I'll put this aside. And I mean, it looks cute like that, but in order for it to fit on the card, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. Now, I tend not to measure when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just sort of eyeball it, and if I have to trim a little bit more, I can. It is just paper, so I would rather it be kind of quick, and it's okay to me for me, it's okay if it's a little crooked or all of the sides aren't perfectly straight. I just wanted to be sort of a square. So I have some of them already done here. So this one's just going to go and fit in the last spot. And I'm using these I think are from Stampin' Up. These little dimensionals. This fits perfect right here in the middle. And right here on my card. I think it kind of looks like a quilt, which is probably why I like that design. And then for the sentiment at the bottom, I used You Make Me Smile. And I just took a piece of scrap paper, again with the pink from the We Are Memory Keepers. And this is a stamped, this is a stamp set from, I'll show you. This is a stamp set from Club Ruby, one that Megan designed. And these are her new ink edgers that she designed to coordinate with paper layers. So, but they also work just as like regular stamps too. I mean, they're really nice. Paper Layers has a white core, so if you want to edge the you know, your paper to cover up that white core, she came out with all different colors that match Paper Layers, and plus they have really cute names like Wrap Me in Chocolate, and this one's Chillax. How cute is that? This one's Check Me Out, which is red. So this one's called 1 a.m. and this is the black. So I'm gonna use it just as a regular stamp and ink up my stamp and stamp it here on this pink to make a sentiment. Now, this just says, "You make me," and then there are other words on here. So like you could say thankful, happy, grateful, but I'm gonna go with smile. And instead of using this big block for this little tiny word, I'm just going to go ahead and use the top of the edgers. It's much smaller and easier to kind of manage with a stamp with a word that small, and ink it up kind of carefully. And I can line it up because I can see right through the lid. And there's my sentiment. So clean that off. And now the ink these are wet, juicy pads, which is really nice because these are embossable. So if I wanted to sprinkle a little embossing powder on there and heat it up and really make it pop, I could do that too. But I'm not going to emboss it today, but I am going to just be careful because it does take a second for it to dry, almost like Distress inks from Ranger, kind of the same way. They dry just a little bit slower than the rest because it gives you some time to emboss them if you want. But it also makes them blendable too. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim this. I better use the paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down so it's going to fit on my card. And again, I'm not measuring. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And then almost to make it kind of look like a banner, just give it a little bit of interest, I'm going to snip a little triangle here on the ends. Add a little adhesive with my Glue Glider Pro. And attach my sentiment. Now, I also, on the original card, I also had put some flat bottom pearls, which I have here. It's up to you. I mean, it looks kind of cute like that. You could use rhinestones or really decorate the centers any way you want. These are Studio 112 adhesive gems. These are just from the dollar bin at Joann's. But I'm not going to put any on this card. I'm going to just leave it just like that. Hope you enjoyed this product review, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.